Hey gang, Joyce with Skipping Cass Farms. It's getting late in the afternoon. Sun is just about down. Look how those shadows are going all the way across here. I'm standing in the doorway of the greenhouse. Mama's looking at me because she can hear my voice. Putting things away, and yesterday I put this tray out in the sun and it got really cooked. You can see we had really low humidity and it was out in the dappled sun part of the day, straight sun part of the day. And I do a lot of things with prayer and I don't apologize for that. So I say, you want me to put the dome over it? No. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, we had the dome over it part of the time. But you can see how this got totally cooked. So what did prayer get me today? Putting them outside without getting watered and without getting domed. And look at this. Got new leaves growing. And I'm like, Lord, what you doing this for? And he said, look, Joyce. He doesn't talk to me like that, okay? But what I've got right here in these first 3 rows are banana peppers. And quite frankly, do I need 12 banana pepper plants? No. I only need 1 or 2. So I've got 1, 2 right here. And then here we've got cubanella peppers. So you can see how these cubanellas got beat back. Now this one did all right. This one did all right. This one did okay. And so did these, but some of the others got nipped in the bud pretty good. So why go ahead and put them out again the next day? Put them out again the next day when there's only like 30% humidity and without watering them. And here are my cayenne peppers. Now I'll use a good bit of my cayennes because I use cayenne pepper instead of black pepper. So I can always grind those up. So I was asking myself the same question. Lord, why did I just beat the crap out of all of these peppers? And the answer came back was, so you see if they'll still live. Okay. And I'm looking at these and now I'm gonna go in and water underneath. It looks a little damp on top, but it's not really. So I'm gonna water underneath and then I'll decide whether I'm gonna spritz or not. And then I'll decide whether I'll put it under a dome or not. I do have the 1 tall dome left and available. If it were up to me, I'd put it under a dome, but we'll see. We'll see what our marching orders are. But why? Gang, right now, here in Tennessee, this part of Tennessee, we are under category 3, almost category 4 drought. Severe to extreme, okay? We've not had any water running in our creek, hardly at all winter long. Normally it runs all winter long. A few years ago I had water in that creek from October to June. And so we are real dry. So why stress the plants to the point? Why stress the plants to the point where they may or may not make it? Because I'd rather find out which ones are going to make it now than wait until they're in the ground and I'm dependent upon that particular plant to give me that particular crop and find out I guessed wrong. So I've done the same with my tomatoes. They're in the cups. They're going out every day. They're getting in the wind. They're getting in the sun. Same is true with the watermelon and the cabbages. And the other thing that I did was, I haven't brought in that other tray. I did a tray of peppers, and that's this tray here. I had spaghetti squash and acorn squash, I'm sorry. And then I put in some butternut squash. Well, the butternut squash popped up overnight, germinated, grew 6 inches, was leggy as the dickens. I pulled the top off, it may have been 2 days, and they were all yellow. So when I went online and checked it out, it said, well, you can't bury them deep like tomatoes, but if they're real leggy and you want to give it a try, give it a try. So that's what I did. Now, these are some of the leggy ones that are left. These were the only short ones in that tray. The ones at the end were short and not quote unquote real leggy. They're also ones that turned green. These have been exposed to the light now for 2 days. Let me go outside. Let me pause you for a minute. Okay, here we are back again. Now what I did yesterday morning was I took the leggiest ones. Now this one is actually, you only see 2 or 3 inches sticking out, but it's going all the way to the bottom of those cups. This is going all the way to the bottom of the cup. This is going all the way to the bottom of the cup. So if you can look at them, these are all real leggy still, except for this one's upright, this one's upright, this one's upright, and this one's upright. Everything else is kind of super droopy. Now, I've not watered it, but you can see there's still some dampness in that cup. That plant has just about had it. And the bigger cups were the longest seedlings. But this one, it's been repotted and it's down to the bottom, and you can see the moisture in the cup, but it's doing pretty good. And look at it, it's a pretty dark green. This one's going to be a keeper. This one's going to be a keeper. It's got a new set of leaves growing all over already. I may just keep this one too. It's got a new set of leaves growing, and it looks pretty good. The other ones, with the exception of that one, possibly. That one's going, that one's going, that one's going, that one's going, that one's definitely going, and this one's going. It can't even stand up on its own. It's sitting on the edge of the cup. Now, it's got good color, but what's going to happen is it's going to probably rot right there. So why did I take the time to do that? Well, I need the practice. I had the soil. I had the cups. I wanted to see what would happen. Could I have predicted that that one did well and that one did well, but this one did not? No. Have I got my answer? Yes. What have I lost? A little bit of time that I was in the greenhouse anyway. I can take this soil, put it back in, and recycle it. It's no big deal. So, these are the leggy ones that have been reburied. The ones that we saw here in the greenhouse. Let me go back in there and show you. So here we are back in the greenhouse looking at the butternut squash. So from here to here is 25 Nope. This is a 72. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a total of 36 cubes. Okay? And I put 2 seeds in most of those cubes. But I'm probably only going to keep the ones across the back. Look at how dark and healthy those first 3 look. And their stems are sturdy. You can see that they're vibrating a little bit from the vibrations of the fan. So I'm probably only going to keep ones out of the very end. It probably germinated a little more slowly because being at the end it was a little drier and it took them a little longer. So the rest of these, this is probably what's going to happen to the ones that I transplanted eventually. These are so leggy that they're not even able to hold themselves up. But it's a good lesson to learn. And now I won't be spending time watering, planting, transplanting, weeding, cultivating plants that aren't the strongest ones. Pull the plants out, give them to my chickens to eat, dump the dirt back into the yellow container, which I emptied today, making another tray. And we start over again. So, did I need 36 butternut squash plants? No. But the seeds came from a fruit that I had in my garden last year. And now I've got a second generation that's becoming acclimatized to my climate and my soil. So it's all good. It's all good. And that's also what I'm kind of doing here with beating up these peppers. And this is like the 3rd or 4th or 5th trial doing different things with peppers this season, and they're going out real late. I understand that. They're not going to be real big. That's what happened to me last summer or last spring, and it ended up being okay. I had small little tiny pepper bushes that gave me smaller peppers, but I got a bunch of peppers, and when I bought a couple of plants because I was concerned that I wasn't going to get anything off of mine, those plants crashed and burned. So this is what we're looking at. I'm fixing to water underneath here with this little watering can. Works great for just getting a straight dribble to wet the moss underneath. And then I've got my pump up sprayer down here that I'll just give it a quick once over on top, set it back over here on the tray with the humidity dome for the night, and we'll be good to go. We just took and snipped off a bunch of greens off of my sweet potatoes. So we're starting sweet potato slips. And what's on there now is about 2 to 3 inches. What we took off was pretty much 4 to 6. We'll see what else we get and take it from there. You know what you want, you aim for what you want, and you take what you get. And you try to give yourself a little wiggle room. And that's how you make progress. 3 steps forward, 1 step back. Some of the most important things I've learned is what not to do. And so with that in mind, gang, this is what we're looking at. These are my cayennes. They got put in a week later. These are my cubanellas. I'm looking forward to those because I've not planted those before. And these are my banana peppers, which I do enjoy, but I'm not a super duper fan. But it is kind of nice with nachos and cheese. So with that, gang, we're done just about with the greenhouse for the day. We've got another hour or two of sunlight. I guess we're about 45 minutes from sunset. And then another half hour before we put the critters away. So with that, gang, I will wish you blessings for the day, and whatever you do, just keep chasing the dream.